Hey, it's the Midnight Raven, and today in like 37-degree heat, we're gonna do a ghost story. I am sweating buckets. I'm wearing a pizzagram top to go with the theme, and today's story is called Princess of Death. As you know, I like everything macabre, dark, and eerie, and today is no exception. So let's get into this ghost story. So, today it's called Princess of Death. So, an Egyptologist known as Douglas Murray didn't like nor trust the disheveled American who sought him out in Cairo in 1910. The man had a unquestionable manner and appeared to be in the final stages of a disease. But Douglas, a refined Briton, could not resist what would be the most priceless find of his career. Douglas was an avid collector of everything weird and strange, so Douglas couldn't resist what this guy had. So, a mummy case. The mummy case was of a high priestess in the temple of Amon-Ra, who had supposedly lived in 1600 BC. The outside of the mummy case bore an image of a princess worked in enamel and gold. Now, Douglas wrote a check and then took steps to have the mummy case shipped back to the UK to his home in London. The American would die that evening after selling the mummy case. The check was never cashed. So, who was this princess? Well, she was in a powerful cult of the dead, and inscribed on the walls of her death chamber, she left a legacy and fortune of terror for anybody who disturbed her resting place. You can see where we're going here. So Douglas scoffed at this story and just 3 days later went on a shooting expedition. And while he was shooting, the gun he carried would explode, mysteriously, mind you, and it would blow his hand off. And after weeks in hospital, his hand had to be amputated below the elbow. Now, Douglas would return to England with his two friends, who would also die on the trip back from unknown circumstances. The two servants who helped him with the mummy case would also die within the year. Both had come in contact with the mummy case. So, back in London, the mummy case had finally arrived. And with all that had happened, he planned to then get rid of it. I wonder why. So he planned to get rid of it to a friend, and he offered it to a friend to take it off his hands. And when she did, her mother would die within that year. So the friend was like, hey, take it back. And offered the hand back to him. And for some reason, he didn't want it. Strange that. But as this woman continued to keep the mummy case, she became ill with a wasting disease. She insisted that Douglas needed to take it back, and unfortunately, she would die too. The photographer who had took pictures of it before it was going to then be exhibited also died. So I'm sensing a pattern here of people coming in contact with the mummy case and dying. No? So the case was shipped to New York and it was showed, but to get to New York, it had to go on a ship. And the precious mummy case was shipped on the Titanic, which sank in April 1912. The mummy case was never seen again and probably lies at the bottom of the ocean and has never haunted anybody or killed anybody else, apart from every person it's ever come in contact with, including an entire ship of thousands of people. So, let me know what you think of this case. This is Princess of Death, the cursed mummy case that killed hundreds and thousands, if you take it being on the Titanic, people, because she was taken and disturbed from her final resting place. So this is an interesting case. It's a short one, mind you, but they do tell you not to tamper with the dead and not to tamper with death because things can occur. So this is a telltale thing of if someone dies, you bury them, you leave them in their resting place, and you leave them alone. But if you want to see more of these, give it a big thumbs up. I am the Midnight Raven. It is roasting outside. If you want to see more of these, when I'm not completely sweating and profusely like dying, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to support the channel as well, consider financially, because I do research and take the time. PayPal, Super Chat, Super Thanks, or become a member for extra videos. And I will see you very soon for another ghost case. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.